And when whole language came in, after years and years and years and
What's
years
whole
of
language?
whole language is a new model that came in that allows little Johnny to develop as they need to, and also which is opposite of what we believe. We believe every kindergartner can learn their sounds. Whole language has great concepts, and I'm not putting down the whole language methodology, but it doesn't teach. It teaches, if you get something right, they'll say, hey, you got it right, and that's called implicit teaching. What we do is explicit. We actually teach that that sound is k or b or ah. So it's a little different approach. It teaches from the bottom, from the top down. Whole language teaches from the top down. Big books, you read the book, you get excited about the book, and for some reason, somehow, kids are going to learn how to transfer that information, translate that information, and be able to learn how to read.
But
they don't teach them. No. Well, 33% is what they said people can learn that way.
Well,
California,
that's not
not
very
enough.
high.
No, it's not very much. California just recently, well, about 5 years ago, outlawed whole language, maybe longer. I'm sorry if I don't have my years correct. California recently outlawed using whole language without a phonetics component. And direct instruction is basically phonetics.
Right.
And has that kind of approach.
So how it sounds.
What
it feels like coming out
and then
of
the
mouth.
comprehension component comes in. So if after third grade, when you learn to read up to third grade, and then you read to learn after third grade, that's when the whole language concepts would, in my opinion, my humble opinion, would work the best.
Right.
But not from developmentally on.
Right.
Not from the very beginning.
And English is so hard because...
Oh, English is very hard.
English is so hard because so many sounds, you read the sound and it's nothing what the sound looks like.
So we start with the basic sounds, the two sounds for all the vowels. We sound with sound combinations. We start with the basics. Then we say, but here's a word that you can't really doesn't work with, the sight words, We've never, ever had a problem teaching anybody in our program. We've taught... unless they come in and they have a severe emotional problem, we don't work with them. We're not capable.
Okay, so I want to go back to that because that's very interesting to me. You were listing a whole lot of behaviors.
Yes.
Which are like acting out behaviors that kids are doing because they're frustrated and their circumstances are challenging. And so it sounds like the psychology is very much a part of your identification process as you're helping to figure out where kids need to fit in. Because obviously a kid who's shy and hiding in their room is a different kind of a kid that is arrogant and
or charming.
Right.
And those charmers, you got to watch out for those charmers because they get away. Because people say, "Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them.
They're dangerous." I know the charmers; they're the worst. So, so do you? Is it different methodologies? Not that the methodology is different, but a different way of dealing with different psychological problems. Do you have psychological training? Is that part of what your staff has?
No, we have staff. We have some staff that actually have degrees in psychology. However, we don't need to do that because once the student understands that they can learn, that they're capable of retaining the information, of maintaining their anything that they're in, understanding where they're at and what they need to do. The psychology, we don't really...
It falls away because those are defensive behaviors.
It's right, defensive behaviors.
And they don't have to be defensive anymore if they're in power.
That's right. And parents say, well, my kid raised their hand for the first time in the class, that teacher told me. Or, they try out for theater or they try out for sports when they didn't before because they were too...
They feel their self-esteem has been...
Absolutely.
They can learn.
Absolutely. So the kinds of kids, you just have to know the kinds of kids that come to us. We have kids who just have had... trauma, like a parent died, or even an animal died, and they just blanked out for 3 or 4, months or weeks, and they just lost those subtraction facts. Once you lose them, they're gone. Right. So they don't. No, the teacher, although all teachers in schools, I really believe this, want to do the best they can.
Oh, for sure.
The system doesn't let them sometimes, and there's not enough time to take care of every kid because there's too many. The luxury of coming to Dreamcatcher or through Legacy of Learning through our nonprofit is that we are one-on-one, that we sit with the child and teach them, and we go at their pace.
Yes.
So we don't tutor, and I want you to know we don't tutor unless they're at grade level.
So what is the difference between tutoring and teaching?
In tutoring, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion.
Of course.
In tutoring, a student needs to be at grade level. because we're not going to do what the schools do, which is to kind of just put a Band-Aid over something, maybe perhaps, and push them on. They'll get it later, or wait till they get to so-and-so's class and they'll do it then. We don't do that. We find the gaps, where they're missing the gaps, and we teach to those gaps. And when they get them, then we go on to another set of skills. So we actually scaffold information. We start at a foundation and build up and out, up and out. So when you tutor, a kid comes to us for tutoring, say in ACT, SAT, GED, advanced math.
How to take those certain tests.
Yes, yeah, how to take tests, how to learn. Well, we practice with them. Advanced math, we do foreign languages, advanced writing, creative writing, expressive writing, work with a project. That's tutoring. Science, physics, that's tutoring.
Okay.
What we do at Dreamcatcher most of the time is teach, because kids come that need either acceleration or they're very behind.
Okay.
We do both. So if a kid has a trauma in their life, or they've just spaced out in third grade or fourth grade and they miss stuff, we can catch them up pretty quick. We have great success with Waldorf kids, Waldorf children, and learn in a different way. And some of them don't learn to read till they're 6th or 7th grade.
So you mean kids that have gone to the Waldorf?
Yes, and the program is very strong for the kids who get the reading right away. But sometimes parents want to say, or kids want to go, I want to go to public school. So they come to us, and very quickly we teach them, because the visualizations and the mental things that the Waldorf curriculum has set up makes it easy for us to teach.
Right.
Most of our kids have dyslexia, auditory visual processing issues. We have a lot of kids with Asperger's syndrome.
Yes.
We have kids with sensory integration issues. We have children with, and adults also, with developmental delayed problems, developmental learning, differences. We have people with ADHD and ADD and bipolar, and sometimes many combinations.
Of course.
And so those children, we've had just as much success as we've had with kids who just traveled around a lot and missed school, which is amazing.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
So
every day I wake up and I go, another wonderful thing's going to happen today. Another wonderful kid is going to come in with a great story. One parent just came in, and her kid has very severe dyslexia. And when she was told not to even worry about going to public school, she'd find a special school. She's not going to learn to read, And it's true, it took us a little longer with this child. And I said to the mom, you know what? I trust this program. Dr. Sally Shaywitz wrote a book and said, this program is the best for dyslexics. It works. And I said, I believe her. I know I've seen it here work with every child. I just hang in there. And 2 weeks ago, she came in and crying and laughing and crying and laughing and said, it happened. She's reading menus. She's reading road signs.
So what about adults? I know a lot of adults who are dyslexic, and of course, back in the day, they were just called stupid. Nobody knew it was dyslexia. So do you work with adults as well? Because that's life-changing.
Yeah, we don't have as many adults as we do, high school kids, middle school kids, elementary schools. We offer it for sure. We have adult learning
Okay,
as well.
that's good to know. Okay, let's get. I get so excited. Excited talking about education. Let's get back to Margot.
Get back to Margot.
How this developed.
So Margot decided to take education to the street, so to speak, and put together 7 Dreamcatchers in Weld County before she called me. And the reason the Dreamcatcher name came around is she was sitting with a bunch of friends, and she says, what can we call this thing? We just want to help kids, catch their dreams. That was it.
Dreamcatcher.
And of course, it doesn't work as well in New York or California, but it works good in the Midwest, the West.
So did they call them Dreamcatchers in other parts of the country too?
We had 25 of us at one time, 25 franchises. We're not franchised any longer, but we had them. We got bought out by a company that was looking to diversify, and their main goal was money, and really and truly making money is not the main goal when you have children's lives in
need, children in need, of course.
And so they just did all the wrong things to make money. And
so is this the only Dreamcatcher?
No, there's about 6 of them left
in Colorado.
Yeah.
Or other states too?
No, other states.
They're all in Colorado.
Actually, there are a few in other states, but I think they changed the name.
So how did Margot find you?
So Margot found me.
Because you were a massage therapist.
I was a massage therapist, and since 1986, and I taught at the Boulder College of Massage Therapy for 9 years. And Margot, right before she did this, Dreamcatcher, tried to see if she would be okay working as in just another field. So she became a director of the massage school. And after a series of events.
That's how, because she did that so she could find you.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
That's right, because that's how it works.
Right.